Hi, everybody. I'm Christina Sanford, founder of Living Waters Leadership Institute and leadership coach and speaker. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about identity. And I'm going to share a little bit with you about something that occurred in my own career as an entrepreneur that woke me up to a lot of things about myself that I needed to know. And what I'm here to share with you is that your leadership journey is an ever evolving journey that reveals every day, hopefully to you, things about yourself, whether they be positive or whether they be areas of growth for you. Leadership, if you've been chosen to be in a place of leadership, if you are an entrepreneur or in senior management or even in the C-suite, every day is an opportunity for you to put the mirror up to yourself and to see yourself for who you really are. So today we're talking about identity. And the story I want to share is a story that looks like failure but ends in triumph. I started a nonprofit in 2003. The purpose of the nonprofit was to help families, specifically women and children, to heal from trauma and also to become self-sufficient on a long-term basis. And the organization, to make a long story short, was phenomenally successful. We helped lots and lots of people, lots and lots of families, hundreds and hundreds of families, and we also made a whole lot of money. And the organization closed in 2012. And I'm going to tell you the road that led to the closure of the organization that I used to run. When I started the organization in 2003, it was out of pure purposes and pure intentions. And as I moved forward and it became hugely successful, I began to equate the success of the organization with my own identity. And that's where I went wrong. Whenever you are chasing success and equating the success of something you're doing with your identity or with who you are, you're headed for trouble. And I didn't realize I was headed for trouble because I was so busy running to success and running to chase my identity. And so as the organization was going beautifully, wonderfully, I had an opportunity to expand it and to build upon it in a way that would be groundbreaking. And one of the programs that I was going to run would have been a program that would have never been done before in the Las Vegas Valley. And as word started to go around and I began speaking about this and sharing with people about what I was planning to do, an opportunity showed up where I would be given lots and lots of money and a huge property in order to be able to make this vision a reality. But what I didn't realize is that I never asked God whether the opportunity that was being presented to me was from Him. I assumed it was from Him because it was what I had been asking for. And as the process moved along toward us starting this program that was going to be groundbreaking, I started to realize that the person who was giving me all this money and to run this program was making me jump through a lot of hoops. And at the crux of that for me was I was jumping through these hoops to prove my worthiness, not to prove that I was worthy of running the organization or running this program, which is what that person was saying why he was doing this. But I began to follow what he required of me in order to prove my worthiness. And so as a result of that, when you're doing something that's for the purpose of validating yourself, when it should be a global purpose or a purpose that is to help others, if you're doing it out of the wrong intentions, it will not work. It will not succeed. And toward the end of the process of me jumping through all these hoops, and throughout that process, I was leaving some very critical people behind. I was leaving people behind who were loyal to my organization, were loyal to me. I was leaving behind the 300 families that we were serving throughout the valley. I was leaving behind the legacy of the initial impetus for starting the organization, because I was chasing not just my identity, but my worthiness. And what I want to share with you all is, if you're in a position right now in your leadership journey where you feel you are chasing your worthiness or jumping through hoops to prove your worthiness, it's time for you to stop and take a good look at where you are in your own life and what needs to change in order for your hustle for worthiness to end. It's time for your hustle for worthiness to end. For me, it took me probably a year and a half after the organization closed for me to fully grasp what had just happened. It was devastating. It was life-changing. But most of all, and best of all, it was life-transforming, because never again will I chase my identity or chase my worthiness through any organization that I lead. And so that's the word for the day, is identity. Where does your identity lie? Ask yourself that question today. Answer that question for yourself today, and take the steps to become more authentic in the way that you lead and more grounded in who you are. That's the word. I hope you guys have a wonderful and purposeful day today, and I'll see you guys next week.